Hello, my friends, and welcome back. We got some interesting news here. When you have a country, and the country is made out of people, and they support their leaders, what can you do about that country from outside? You really can't do much. And fortunately for those guys in the West, this is the situation in Russia. Uh, as you know, or probably know, the leader of the free world, President of the United States, Joseph Biden, he has an approval rate of about what? 39, 29, 30, 39, 42, maybe at the most. And that with his media working for him. Don't forget, United States, the corporate media is rooting for this gentleman more than for the other one, the previous one, nevertheless. So he's got what? I don't know, like 30 some, 38, 39, 30, it was like 29 at one point. Nevertheless, this is where the leader of the free world ranks. Bonk. Now let's see how is the leader of the evil world ranking, which is Mr. Vladimir Putin of Russia. So we got here an article, and this article comes from an Ukrainian newspaper. So please take that into consideration. So this comes from the New Voice of Ukraine. And this is an opinion from one of this guy's correspondents. His name is Peter Dickinson, a Ukrainian fellow. And this article is from today, June 8th, and 2022. And this is the title. More than 3/4 of Russians still support Putin's Ukraine war. With all those efforts, all that money invested in the corporate mass media, and still 3/4? What are you doing here? 75%? Unacceptable. Send the regime change squad in. All right, so the latest polling data from Russia indicates that public support for the invasion of Ukraine remains strong despite higher than expected casualties and widespread accusations of war crimes. What do you think if you accuse their fellow Russians as war criminals? Do you think that's going to help lower the approval rate? A survey conducted in late May by Russia's only remaining independent pollster, the Levada Center, found that 77%, not 75, more than 3/4. And remember, this is reported by the Ukrainian media outlet, by a Anglo-Saxon name guy who's white and in good standing, let's put it this way. I don't know the guy, I'm just joking. But nevertheless, 77%. Now imagine how would be is it an independent? Let's say a Russian opinion poll probably will find 95, let's say, right? Isn't that what the mass media here tells us? But probably it's going to be more than that. So 77 of Russians currently back the war. This represented a slight increase on the corresponding figure for April, when 74% of the respondents voiced support for the ongoing invasion. So you keep fueling and giving weapons to Ukraine. Call the fellow Russians war criminals, Putin this, Lavrov that, Peskov this, and their number increases, their popularity. There has been considerable speculation over scale of Russia's backing of the war in Ukraine, with critics questioning the credibility of numerous government-linked surveys showing strong levels of support, while any attempt to accurately gauge opinion in a dictatorship, you see, tell them, oh, guys, we live in a dictatorship. 3 more points up. Dictatorship is notoriously difficult. The Levada Center's recent data is likely to be the most legitimate available indication of public feeling towards the war. Now, this gentleman cut his wings of objectivity since he called dictatorship. Not no, not explicitly, but implicitly here, referring to Russia and then the dictatorship. So makes a direct connection between that. Now, this gentleman, whose name was what? Peter Dickinson, not so he lost his credibility, at least for me, or partly. He would hope that Putin had no credibility in Russia or no support, and he's upset that So already I know what's going on with this guy, or at least I'm waiting. So this is strike one, or maybe two, but two because he is in a Ukrainian newspaper and he would not be there. He would be objective, right? Or at least impartial. Let's put it this way. Has to be a little bit like in any, because they pay you. So what the, you know what I mean? While younger Russians were less likely to back the invasion, the survey identified comfortable majorities in favor of the war among every single age group. 60% of 18 to 24-year-old respondents voiced their support, rising to 83% of those age over 55. So yeah, they remember maybe Soviet Union, and they remember history, and remember how easy and nice was after 1991 until 2008 or something, until Russia kind of bounced back and under Putin. So yeah, and they remember how it was under the communists, how it was under Yeltsin, and how it is under Putin. So 88% of people, 83, I'm sorry, percent of those age over 55. Nor is there much expectation of a quick victory, with almost half respondents, 44%, predicting that the war would last for at least a further 6 months. So what does that tell you? It tells you that 40, almost 50, the respondents are expecting to be 6 more months, and they still are favorable of the war. So that means they're ready. They can go 6 months, no problem. After 6 months, probably they will be like, I think should be over. So this is it. Right, 77% approval for the war, and 44% of the respondents stated that they are ready to, they expect the war to go 6 more months. Can Germany go 6 more months? Can Ukraine go? Can Americans? The next article is going to be about Poland, and I will explain, and I will discuss an article about exactly this, how the Poles are starting to go in the street and say, hey guys, what's going on here? So you see, virtue goes as far. And then when it hurts a little bit, then you say, no more virtue. Ukraine, go to yourself and leave me alone and let my children have a decent life. I'm going to post that video in right after this one. So thank you very much for being with me again today. The Western corporate media keep talking BS, keep providing arms to Ukraine, keep calling names, and the percentage points will go up for the approval rate for the war. Implicitly, Putin and his entourage, the dictatorship. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.